Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. This is a ladder match between Turin and Thomas Hyatt. Thomas in every cast these days. And probably since I came back to the channel about a year ago. Actually, it's probably almost exactly a year ago when I started making videos again. Back when Patrick and Zoc were playing ladder and they had to play in the 7 map pool. Those are some nice videos. Turin is going first land. He's UEF. As you can see, he's gonna make 3 factories and he's gonna leave. So very normal opening there from Turin. That's pretty much, I'd say, the most common is third air. Make 3 factories with your ACU and then you walk up this way. ACU defends all these mexes. He's going to build a factory. There's a lot of reclaim here as well as the mexes, which is why you need to defend it very carefully. And obviously it has more mexes than the other close expansions. 2 here, 2 here. And Torrent says he has no sound. Lovely. Thomas with the correct response. Good. No draw from Turin. Second land, only 2 power generators because of this engineer specifically. Getting the tree groups. These trees are not grouped. There might be the odd group in there. They're mostly single trees. Still, if you have idle engineers in the base, then you might as well reclaim some trees. If you don't need the build power. Thomas, second air, not second land. Now he's Aeon, which I failed to mention, and he's gone for a couple of labs. The labs are heading somewhere. The scout heading in a different direction. But I think he might be able to help them with an air scout as well. That can be helpful with your labs. I also know, I don't know if he was assisting perhaps with the ACU, but it seems like he's just expanding with the ACU more, or with the engineers, rather than assisting the ACU. So that's why he has actually quite a bit of resources. Quite a few resources, to put it in better terms, in the bank. The Bank of Hyatt. Not that much assistance either from Turin. And he's gonna need, he only has 2 engineers in the base, so maybe we'll see a quick T2 mechs because he's gonna need more engineers to spend his resources. Now we already have 3 tanks in this side defending this very important engineer, but there's no scout. So he's gonna have to be careful. And he has a lab of his own. Oh, that's a very good kill. Very good kill. A bit messy from Thomas, but look at that. Nice return there for Thomas. And this is why people will assist their engineers with tanks. But I mean, even if he assisted with 1 tank, or if he assisted with 1 tank, he's gonna lose the engineer for sure anyway. The problem was not having vision. But I guess he could have kept his tanks in a better position and defended there, but Thomas found a way around. So well played. I don't know if he used the air scout. I feel like he did use the air scout to help him out there. Only 2 engineers in this area for both players, which is maybe not that good. I think sending more engineers here is fine. Sending a 3rd one, especially, you want to try to get that hydro a bit quick, because it is so efficient and it's quite distant. There's also a lot of reclaim to get. Now you can see Thomas has done a much worse job of getting the reclaim in from those trees over there, but he has more reclaim overall, which I do not understand. How is it possible that Thomas's trees look like this and he has like a quite a bit more reclaim. Not sure. 3 land factories, an air factory, and no eco. You'll often see, oh, that's a transport. Quick transport from Thomas. I like it. There's certain 10x10 maps where transports are very, very important. I think they're maybe underused on Loki. On Forbidden Pass, for example. They are very important. On Craftius, they're also quite important, but less so than on Forbidden Pass, I think. And on Loki, I think they're a bit underappreciated. He's gonna actually... The lab kill here was so brutal. And now he's repositioned it to the perfect spot to stop any encroaching engineers. From the other side, the Hydra finally goes up. A bit after Torrents, and some missed opportunity here, I think, from Thomas, because sending an early raid across here with an Aurora can be quite annoying to deal with. But nothing happening with that. He didn't really defend his engineer, it seems, and he has lost it. Oh no, in fact, that looks like a brutal crush of Aurora somewhere. But where? Oh, it's probably the labs actually that were killed rather than Aurora. But it's still a lot of kills. There's 6 kills on those 2 units. Oh my goodness. This lab is disgusting. Finally taken down. Well, that's a beautiful kill to get. Transport returns home. He's going to pick up an engineer now. I don't know where that... Maybe he's just picking up some tanks here. This expansion is killed. The engineer not protected well enough. And Thomas taking his chances. And that's very nice. Oh, that's a lot of kills. And another one. And another one. Beautiful air win. So we could see, well, we need to see some bombers come out, and maybe you can just go fast T2 air. Would be interesting. Yes, I like it. Nice stuff. Thomas gonna go fast T2 air. His score lead is nice. Better reclaim in the trees, but actually worse reclaim on the mass because of this here. Because this Turin has had some very nice attacks, and it's led to this reclaim not being taken, and also this expansion delayed for a very long time. Now we have a fight between Aurora and Strikers. The Strikers are already in range. The Aurora are not dodging at all. They can dodge side to side in fights like these. It can help them a lot. And still the Aurora are actually doing okay. He does not have a scout. Oh, the bomber from Turin. Another nice attack. Oh, maybe not. Oh, he drops on it. On a mechs, doesn't matter though. The Aurora actually did lose. Oh, he's gonna bomb his own tank. R.I.P. Nice raid from Thomas. No scouts left here though. Just attacks everywhere. Very messy game. Quite aggressive. Only the second T2 mechs coming now. Torn hasn't started his second mechs. This bomber raids the mechs that were left. And now Thomas, with 2 transports, is dropping the sides. No hidden tanks or labs this time. So he should be able to take that. I don't know why he's dropping... Well, he's dropping a little defensive group there. A lot of these Aeon scouts getting killed and leaving their Aurora without vision. And now we have an ACU fight because Thomas has not taken the conventional route of going north. He's gone east. And we have a bit of a comm battle. Quite even armies. Nice forward factory. Nice mix of units. Thomas not microing well here though. Letting Turin get some kills, but Turin has much less HP now. He's lost a lot of HP. Has a PD in the middle of nowhere. At least he can fall back to that, but there's fervors. And it's actually very dangerous for Turin, and I think he recognizes it. He has many anti-airs, and his air force is right next to his commander, so he's aware of the dangers. I mean, there's always the chance of a mercy, and now losing a lot more HP. I think he took a huge number of fervor hits to the face there. He lost about nearly 3000 HP again. On the top side, just no units from Thomas being sent in that direction. He's obviously much more concerned with the ACU battle going on, but he should send his gunships up here, I think, and defend this. And then, yeah, that's a waste of a gunship here. Unfortunately, those anti-airs doing a lot of work. There's a lot of them. I think there's about 5 or 6 shooting that transport, and 1 inti is left just to plink away. Pretty small investment to send 1 inti, and then can get quite a few free shots as it's doing. Extremely nice raid on the top side though. Little force of arties, and oh, that PD was almost complete. Could have saved the day, but he's going to lose this whole expansion. This expansion is denied, and more units being sent that way. The gunships have to be used. Has a couple of transports on standby, so he can try once again to expand to the top side, and if he does, he's going to have nice map control, because Turin has been scared all the way back to the pond by the T2 air. Still making gunships, so perhaps it's time to start making swift winds. Don't know what the air is like. He doesn't have that many interceptors now. Turin has had time to react, and Turin behind on eco. So let's see the air force. Oh yes, Turin already is ahead on air, so we need to switch back. You can't just keep spamming those gunships. But that's all Thomas has planned so far. Has not made any change to that. I think 5 gunships is more than enough, really. And yeah, he's gonna switch to Swifties now. Needs to be careful that he doesn't lose them, because Turin does have air control now. Gun range. Good decision, I think. When you're in this kind of standoff, you can see what both players are doing, going for upgrades. So you have, that's going to make the difference. Oh, that drop was speculative. This forward radar makes it virtually impossible, as long as the opponent is paying some attention. So yeah, when you're in a standoff with the ACUs on the same side, then it's the upgrades that are going to make the difference. So both players going for upgrades. Thomas going for the range gun, and Turin is going for T2. Maybe he'll go for a gun after. Maybe he'll just be making T2 PD. Obviously the effective counter versus aggressive commanders is, well, your own commander, and also T2 PD isn't too bad either. T2 air as well. T2 PD is very effective. This air factory is building nothing. I guess he's cancelled his air production while he makes his ACU upgrades. And only now going T2 land. We're at 13 minutes, and this is the first T2 tech was the ACU just there now, has since invested in the gun, and now we have T2 land coming quite late against an Aeon player. No T2 land for Thomas. No reason to make it either. Oh, there's the air looking to take out those gunships. If he loses those, it's going to be extremely painful. Don't know how this raid got through. Takes out a mechs. And Aurora's raiding for Thomas, and looks like they're going to be effective. Oh, they're straying just into range of this T1 PD that's been hastily constructed, but some of them have already got past, so maybe he'll get a few mechs kills. Overall, I think it might just be a mass donation, but offset a bit by having to rush this PD, and he might even make a second one. That's 500 mass. So it's like if you build a nuke and the enemy team builds four missile defenses, so you can't nuke anywhere, it's still kind of okay. Because they built 4 nuke defenses. So if you try and raid with a few tanks, you lose them, but your opponent builds multiple PDs to defend, then that's a cost to offset. And Turin pushing back, needs to take back map control, and he's trying his best to do so, but the double gun commander of ThomasH outranging him, not allowing that ACU to get into range. If Turin gets into range, he can do so much damage. And because he has a higher base hit points on his ACU, he gets more HP back from veterancy, because it is based on your base HP. Couple of Aurora on the cliff. Well, now just one, and the one that was actually doing damage has died. This guy just shooting the ground. A futile action. So Turin got what he wanted. Got some map control back. That he always expected to be his. Over here, he did get raided and lose those mexes. So I think that's a pretty efficient raid. Just a few Aurora and Fervors. Turin is still on 3 T2 mexes, making his 4th now. ThomasH has had 4 for a while, and he actually has 6 now. 7th just begun, it seems. So nice economy, but no T2 land, and now the pillars supported by flak are moving around. Needs to get some PDs up to defend, and then defend those PDs with his T1 tanks. Also have anti-air being spread around. That's not an insignificant investment, and he's going for T3 land. Skipping T2 land completely. What unit is he going for? He's going for Harps, which is normal. Now maybe if an ACU comes knocking, he can always switch to snipers, or perhaps the Absolver and snipers if the opponent has some parashields and maybe personal shield of his own. One support factory coming for Turin. Oh, that's the 2nd support factory. So the more support factories he makes, the worse position I think he's probably going to be in, because he's going to have to go to T3 land himself. Which is why it's often better not to just spam a lot of T2 support factory upgrades. So they're pretty expensive, and that build power might not be useful for a while if you have to then go T3 not too long after. But he only has 2 support factories right now, and you can just assist your HQ and your support factories rather than just investing in build power that's only going to be able to build certain things. It's the beauty of engineers. They can contribute to pretty much any project. And factories, well, they're more specific, obviously. The first Harb is being constructed. Now, will it be dropped somewhere? I don't see a T1 transport around. Oh, he does have one on standby, so he could definitely needs to get a Harb up to the top side to help out. His PD, oh, the 2nd PD is not gone up. First one already dead. And there's what, 3 Aurora? I don't think that's gonna save him. Already has a PD in this position, so some defense can be mounted, and he has the gunships. Now, with that many gunships, 1 flak is not gonna be enough, but 2 flaks. Oh, it's 3 flaks in fact. Yeah, there's no way you can send these gunships anywhere near that. Oh, the ACU has repositioned to defend these fresh T2 mexes. And he has anti-air and T1 PD. And I think this ACU is going to go the whole way up to the north. The PD defending very well, or rather the PD defending and the walls defending the PD. Still can get in behind and kill a couple of mexes, but here comes a Harb in a T2 transport. And he can clean this up and get some reclaim maybe. Nice engineers here already rebuilding, taking control of this area for Turin. Actually captured 2 mexes. They are Aeon. And Harp cleans up this. And the ACU, which has the first shield, is looking to farm some kills on these pillars and flak. T3 land 65% for Turin. How many harps do we have out by now? Maybe 5? 4. 5th one almost finished. We have 1 going aggressive. Looking for kills. Are these upgrading? Nope, no upgrades here. So this raid, is it worth sending a harp to kill some T1 mexes? Probably not. And if he leaves it idle and loses it to Phobos, or should I say Lobos, he's losing it to Lobos. And I don't think that's... well, it's definitely not worth it. 600 mass left there. T1 mex is killed. That's a very vulnerable T2 radar. I think we need a little bomb to drop on there. The T2 line moving in, but moving in a bit too far. A couple of harps come in and look to clean it up. The whole T1 army has died though, but that is not too big a deal. And the harp now dropped into the main base. And what can he get done here? He's going after the engineers that are trying to throw up a PD. I don't think he's going to stop the PD going up. And now Percy comes out just at that moment, and this is going to be a mass donation, in fact. Lol, says Turin. Oh, his air was actually... went on a little excursion. Nearly flew directly over this flak. Took a few shots, but if you turn fast enough, you will dodge flak shots with your inties. If you fly in a straight line, you will lose everything. So, the Harbs, slightly underwhelming. He has a decent number of them now. I mean, this one in the base dropped at the wrong time because Percy came right out. Here we had a dead Harb, and this position would have been amazing to drop. And look, I don't think he would have had, may not have had a trouble dropping there. The T2 radar and the defenses that were on this cliff have been killed nicely by a whole bunch of Lobos. The same Lobos that killed the Harb over here, I think. So Thomas on the top side has secured it. He has a T2 mex over here. He's making more. And some Harbs being dropped around fancifully, but just killing some Lobos. Not a big deal. Gaining some vet from it anyway. T3 engineer. Will we see a T3 P-gen soon, maybe? Looks like he's stalling energy. So, ooh, fuck. Is he making heavy shield? Yes, he is, of course. It's Thomas Hyatt. Every game you see Thomas Hyatt play, he will make double gun, and there's that drop I was talking about. Double gun and shield. Every game. Only has 6 Harbs. I mean, where have his Harbs gone? Is there just a transport with them in it? No. He just only has 6. Oh, he lost these 2. Oh yeah, this Percy here has some damage on him. There's finally a very nice drop here. And he's gonna go try reclaim as much mass as he can from those T2 mexes. A Percy being dropped on top of him. More Harbs being sent. Again, 2 Harbs after T1 mexes. Is it worth it? Well, 2 dead T2 mexes. He reclaimed some of 1 and left some mass behind. That's definitely worth it. But the Percy numbers are growing and the Harp numbers are not really growing. And that is the difficulty. If you don't do efficient damage, then you're going to be left with a smaller army. And I think that's what's happening to Thomas. 6 Harbs. Still, because they're being used aggressively, and maybe being lost in those small numbers is going to hurt him in the future. He does at least have the heavy shield. Does he have a... He has T3 Pigeon now? I'm not sure what the timing of that was in comparison to when he was making the heavy shield. Whether they are maybe being constructed at the same time. Which wouldn't be ideal. And looks like we're just chilling. Oh yes, we are chilling. T3 mechs and chill from Turin. Bit of a blind push to the top. He has how many Percys? We have 9 Percys, all of them on the top side, and the ACU has TML on his back, but a huge mass stall thanks to this T3 mechs that he really desperately wants. It's also straight building T2 mechs here at the same time, so that's a problem, I guess. All those Harbs better stay out of his way. He has a couple of storages for overcharge. Again, no radar over here. Needs some scout spam maybe. Oh, T2 radar reappears. This one got killed earlier. And now finally the missile flies. But it's been a while building. And he's also struggling for power now. He only has 3 T2 P-gens. And even this Hydra is kind of painful to lose. Where is the T3 air? This T3 P-gen has not been used at all really right now. Could at least reclaim a T2 P-gen maybe. Get 1k mass back. There's a lot of potential for damage, and he has a lot of storages as well, so, and spread out in different areas. It looks like the TML landed on this T2 mechs. If he moves the shield back, he can defend his other mechs with these nice T2 shields. I'm sure that's what he actually had planned those shields for. Oh no, but he has it out of position. Will it get past the cliff? Just about, and that's actually not a bad kill to get. And now snipers come out as he knows the ACU is quite far forward. This ACU on the top. Yes, the army decides, I don't want to fight this ACU. I don't want all my Percys to get overcharged and feed him veterancy. So if you have 6 Percys, I mean, you could kill an ACU, I guess, but probably not a heavy shield and double gun comp. More T2 mechs is getting absolutely murdered. So that stall didn't actually hurt Turin too much. He's still got a lot of damage done with the ACU TML. More than he should have perhaps. Thomas still not making T3 air. I'm surprised he hasn't done that. The faster you make the T3 air, the more potential damage, I think. So let's speed it up slightly. Not too many snipers, and now he's lost his radar again. And there's a dangerous attack moving towards these 3 mechs now, and he has no vision of it. And no units sent there, in fact. Now, at least it did just get TML'd. Oh, it's a lot of energy storage just went down. This T2 mechs is going to go down, but the other mechs were already killed. Now he's going to lose T2 factory. You had a PD here. Oh, brutal, disgusting overcharges. Saving those mechs that were about to get killed by those Percys. and artillery, and it's exactly what Turin was afraid of and why he left and went south rather than try and fight the ACU. And actually he saved this mech as well. So overall this attack just failed because of Thomas dropping his ACU back. You can see this T2 transport here. He dropped down at the exact right time. And even the T2 factory survived. So basically almost everything survived. Oh, looks like a slight micro fail. Oof. Harb's going down. And Percy's also went down here. But who will get the reclaim of that? I think it might be Turin if I think he needs to use his ACU to take that. There's a lot of mass here. Now Turin was making that T3 mechs quite a while ago. I don't see any T3 mechs from Thomas. Does have storage mechs on the top side. Nothing here. Oh my goodness. 5,000 mass in T1 PDs to defend T1 mechs. I guess you're not going to walk your pillar army across there anyway. The walls are nice. The PDs may be overkill. And on Turin's side, we actually have 2 T3 mechs. And now he's going T3 air. Thomas is behind him on T3 air. He's had so much power overflow thanks to this T3 P-Gen, and could have probably gone T3 air a long time ago and been very annoying with a strap bomber. The restorer is probably not going to be too good of an option, but strats would be nice, and just having air control is always nice. Can very easily scout anything and everything that's happening, and deny any and all drops. And another, just a T1 attack. That may have been a drop here of artillery. Just a T1 attack killing these front mechs. Oh. The snipers, maybe outrunning the shield slightly. T1 bombers coming in, and because there's no anti-air, the bombers are not being denied. Oh, the shield just died to the T1 bomber. I think the shield just drove into the napalm and died. So only one shield now, and Turin just desperately running away from these sniper bots, so not want to get killed by them. But now they're running into range of some pillars and artillery, and he's not watching, and he's gonna lose all of the snipers. Yep. Well, one's still alive. He just needs to dodge the Lobo fire or not. So, painful loss there. You see the dangers of the sniper bots. The danger for the alien player, that is, that he can just look away for a moment and lose it. Second T3 P-Gen, ASF's being constructed. Thomas now reacting to the T3 mechs. I think he may have overlooked that slightly, so the focus is on finishing economy upgrades before he finishes his T3 air. And look at the map control now. Thomas with a lot of map control. He's killed these mechs somehow. I missed that. Apologies. I think it was I saw lots of T1 RT streaming in, so maybe it's just Fervors carrying the day. We have a lot of T2 PDs here. Under a shield, very well defended. Sending Harbs in here is just suicide. These Serenities are very vulnerable. The ACU TML is quite useful versus units like this, and static TML as well, of course. In the bottom corner is only T1 mechs, and it's gonna die. Oh, even a shot on the ASF that's landed there. But if he gets trapped here and loses 8 Harbs to this ACU and the army, which, I mean, How is he going to save these harbs? That could be quite a bad move from Thomas, moving in here with so many harbs and just trapping himself in the corner. I mean, there's no way he's obviously killing the ACU, which has 17,000 HP now. The gun, T2, multiple, many pillars, Lobos, multiple Percys. The shield very nicely placed, blocking a lot of damage and that overcharge. Now maybe he can just retreat and just hope the shield comes back online soon. Over here, a good defense from Turin, it looks like, making demolishers, and the Serenities are going down. And T1 bombers also doing what they can. Yeah, T1 bomber comes in and finishes that guy off. And now the harbs are going to go down as well. 8 harbingers in this corner, and they didn't kill much of anything. So a bad attack there, I think, and well caught. You can see Turin, as soon as he saw them go in there, he knew he could just move across here with his army and his ACU and get some nice kills and reclaim. Now making a there's so many Percys here. Huge push. The majority of his army being sent this way, and there's just fervors up against him. He may actually lose a Percy to them though. Oh, so close. And the shields will save him, but still very low. Thomas just making a shit ton of... I mean, he has like no units here. Where are Thomas's units? Oh my god, he hasn't got a single harb right now. He has 5 snipers and 3 Serenities. Oh man, what's going on? 24 Percys. Where did all the units go? Well, I mean, 8 of them went here. This attack here has failed. I mean, these demolishers did such a good job defending. Completely defended this spot. And now bombers. I wonder how many kills how many T3 land kills have been gotten by T1 bombers. And without shields, I mean, you just can't hope to do anything. No shields, no anti-air. And it's just a terrible waste of T3 units. Now the Percy's all moving towards Thomas Hyatt's ACU, which has, as we saw before, double gun and a heavy shield. Now there are a lot more Percivals now than there were before. Maybe he should have continued pushing and attacked into this base, but now there's more and more T2PDs going up. Sniper is doomed. And the Percys, look, they're just leaving. They don't want to. They still don't want to fight the ACU, even though he has like 20 here. 15 Percivals. Damage. I mean, with this many Percys versus almost no army, you gotta do some damage. Can attack here. These spots are the most vulnerable. There's even a T3 mechs up here in the corner. That would be great to kill. A transport, maybe a drop would be nice. Still only 2 T3 mechs, so it looks like Turin has held off on ecoing recently. Thomas, though, he's on 3 and 4. This one in the corner. Let's look at the economy now. Oh, Thomas so far ahead on eco. 205 mass to 123. He's given up basically all of his army to do that. I mean, well, he didn't have to give up all of his army here. He just got, well, a bit outplayed by Turin, countering all of his stuff very easily with T1 bombers and some of his own T3 demolishers. Thomas has such a big eco that damage has to be done, and it looks like he can walk through here. You can see the shields. The best thing about them is that versus the ACU they will defend against overcharge while they're up, of course. Now they've been taken down, and Thomas doesn't have enough storage, it seems, to take out these Percys with a single overcharge. Needs to come out of the water just a bit. Pop off an overcharge. There goes 2 Percys. He has to be very careful though. With this number of Percys, he can die extremely quickly, even with 40,000 HP. On the bottom side, he's just spamming T1 arties all over the place. In terms of air, quite a few... Oh, he's farming a lot of kills here. But he is going to lose a lot of economy. Now, if he can continue farming this... Oh, nice strap bomber. Huge amount of damage from that. So if he can kill a lot of these Percys and eventually take this back, then there's going to be a lot of reclaim left when he eventually retakes this. And you've got to assume he is going to retake this. He's not going to lose this forever. And it doesn't look likely that Turin is going to be able to get this reclaim. Oh my god, the 21,000 mass killed now. That is so brutal. Turin just lost at least 15 Percys here. He killed T3 mechs and 3 T2 mechs. But he lost. Look how many Percys does he have now? 10 Percys. So there's no chance of doing anything here. Obviously this is completely safe now. No Percys got across the water to damage this. And these Percys are dying to T1PD. Attack move is a beautiful thing. People don't really use it in this game though. They rather give move orders and suicide that way. And that's another Percy loss. Nasty. So the wall of T1PD perhaps has eventually paid off. Still very nice defense here on the bottom. Well, I mean, at this point... Oh! T2 artillery from Thomas. But the T3 RD is in range and he has some shields. Oh, the shield has just gone down. And T2 RD of his own. So T2 RD battle on the bottom. Snipers continually... Oh, and Harbs dying to T1 bombers. T1 bombers are just crushing in this game. And I think it's because Thomas seems to never wants to build flak. Oh, he lost all of his artillery now. His base has been killed. 2 vets on this demolisher. 2 vets on this demolisher. T2 RT goes down. So the T2 RT battle and T3 RT battle is definitely being won by Turin over and over. Power shields might be nice right now, but he's just creeping forward with his own static shields. Although there's an demolisher in the way, so he can't build this one. Another strat from Thomas. And he's making another T3 max. Let's look at the economy. Well, we're back to more or less even. Slightly more for Thomas, and he's about to finish the T3 max. Oh, they both are. So still going to be quite even, but it cost Turin so many Percys to achieve that. Some units lost here. Turin retreats momentarily. Oh, T2PD is in range of sniper bots. Never good for the sniper bots. We've definitely seen the bad side of these T3 units. If only there was like a calculator that just showed you how many times you how many units you lost just because of miss micro. in terms of like walking sniper bots into range of T2 tanks or T2 BDs. I think Thomas should just stop attacking this. It's just not working at all. Not working at all. This corner has never been teched by... Oh my god, there's so much... I said, you know, trapping all those harbs was really nice from Turin, and you know, he gets so much mass from it, but he hasn't reclaimed anything. There's still all those harbs are there, and also a lot of T1 shit, some T2 shit. Still all this mass here is, I mean, there's absurd amounts of mass on Turin's side that he's not taking. Thomas is taking his stuff. He got so much reclaim here, and that is why he's ahead. I don't think he should be ahead on reclaim at this point. Oh, here come the Titans. He's sick of the fervors, absolutely sick, and also knows there's no harbs being built, so he can just run in. Instead of fighting with demolishers, he can leave those there. He can just run in and start killing stuff with Titans. Quickly take out T1 and T3 artillery. Maybe even get in and raid these T2 mexes. On the top side, he's rebuilding his force. Adding some Titans in. Looks like he wants to get some raids in. And he is building up more Percies as well. Although looks like he's now paused his land production. What is the meaning of that? Excuse me. In terms of air, 30 ASF and 32 for Thomas. Thomas has 6 strap bombers right now, and he's going to bomb his own mexes, I think. Look at all these dead Serenities just littered everywhere, just thanks to these Titans. Very nice choice. You can see this. Look, 4 vets on this guy, 3 on this one. And he can focus on killing the mechs now. Storages are also good to kill. And the strats are just missing, because he continues to micro. And look at this. Oh, a nuke launcher. And Thomas, I did see in the chat, is also making a nuke launcher. Thomas with 14,000 mass, so he can build that. Well, he's not going to stall while building it, that's for sure. He already has a half built. Another T3P gen planned. He has an Omni sensor, which is always important to build. And creating more production on the map. Definitely recommend making these kind of support factories later into the game. And the strap armor's going to try and deal with Titans again. They weren't so successful dealing with these Titans down here. And this Lobo spam is absolute garbage. Or the fervor. It's just... it's not even annoying. I mean, look, they just die in a line and achieve nothing except maybe give a little bit of vet to the demos. Sam's built a lot of Sams. Well, he did see so many. Wait. Okay, we do have some in the base as well. Oh, right next to this T3P gen. So that's a risk. Could lose both the Sams in his main base if he loses that P-gen, which is not shielded at all, and also his Omnis are unshielded. The nuke is complete. But it's complete after Thomas's. Now, one thing about Thomas is that he's Aeon, and Aeon nukes take a very long time to launch. One thing about Aeon, they have the longest animations for pretty much every... If you watch their buildings get constructed or die, or... There's obviously an Aeon fanboy creating those animations because they're so long. And it's the same for the nuke when it tries to launch. I think all these things move back like individually, like one after the other, and it takes quite a while for it to launch. And they're in a straight up nuke race. Now Thomas has the lead. He's ahead, but is he far enough ahead? Because he's gonna lose some of that lead to the fact that he's Aeon, basically. They're just those animations. We have some T3 engineers, some circling around trying to assist. Needs to maybe do a bit of micro here, get them in. It's the T3 engineers that are going to make a much bigger difference, obviously, than all these T1 engineers. And the T1 engineer, I think he is trying to assist and get in here, but the T1 engineers are just in the way. And it's just all about this. Now we have, you can see the nuke. Can Thomas see the nuke from Turin? He has seen it. No one trying to build an anti. They're just gonna let it fall where it may. Even though Thomas is so far ahead right now, because he's had so much more map control. Turin hasn't ecoed here. Hasn't had this. He's not even building these mexes. Hasn't been able to eco here. Has never ecoed here either. So this is a much better decision from Turin than it is Thomas, I have to say. But it looks like Thomas has more build power on this. Look at all these T3 engineers here, trying their best to rush the nuke. Oh, he's close. This is a close battle. But Thomas is ahead. Thomas also had like 6 strats. Did he just waste them? No, he didn't. Still has them, but not using them. Don't think he would be able to get through the shields either, though. He could actually kill this this B-gen. Maybe then he could kill it, actually. Could at least try. One thing's for sure, there's no way. Oh, here we go. Oh, he is ahead. Look at this. Turin, please don't be stalling. Of course he's not stalling. That would be truly... Oh, Thomas is stalling though. Just as he's finishing the nuke. And here we go. Look at this animation. I'm growing old watching it. Finally, there it is. Turin, we should remember. Oh, he's stalling now as well himself. Just before he finishes. Why is this happening? He has all these T3 engineers trying to assist, but they're around the side. And he has, I may remind you, the first thing he said in this game is that he has no sound, and he's standing right next to his nuke launcher, so he's gonna get nuked just as he launches his own. Oh god. Turin. Wrong place to stand. And look, the nuke launching straight for Thomas. But it doesn't matter. I didn't see your... He didn't see the nuke. I hope he means the actual projectile and not the launcher, because that would be disgusting. Yeah, if you don't have sound, your opponent has a nuke, I guess you should probably stand away from where the nuke is probably going to be aimed. But I think that was a decent gamble from Turin, just to go for the nuke. The nuke, I don't think it was not necessarily the best decision from Thomas, but it worked out. So well played. Nice ladder game here between the two of these, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you again for another cast soon. Bye guys.